All right, so yesterday we talked about the quadratic formula. Yes, I'll give it to you on your mastery check. Again, it's better if you have it memorized, but if you don't, it'll be on the board. So here is the formula. Yeah, that's okay. What's your A on this guy? So just the number, so 2. What's your B? 13. And what's your C? Okay, now we're going to take all that junk and we're going to plug it in. So negative 13 plus or minus 13 squared minus 4 times 2 times 15 all over 2 times 2. And we learned yesterday that we need to simplify the outside, the inside, and the bottom. Okay, so the outside's already simplified, so we're just going to make that negative 13 plus or minus. The inside, if we type all of that into our calculator, we get 13 squared minus 4 times 2 times 15. That gives us 49 underneath the radical. And then 4 on the bottom. Now, can we take the square root of 49? What does that give us? 7. So this will give us negative 13 plus or minus 7 over 4. We can simplify this. Negative 13 plus 7 is going to give us 6, negative 6. So this becomes 2 separate equations. Let me make this a different color. So this becomes negative 13 plus 7 over 4, which gives us 6 over 4, which can simplify to 3/2. That should be negative. And then this also gives us negative 13 minus 7 over 4. So that gives us negative 20 over 4, which is negative 5. Is that what you got? Because you got to be able to do this on your mastery check. Okay, if you need more space, you can write it off to the side, write it on a piece of paper. That's fine. Okay. All right, so on number 2, what's your A? 1. What's your B? And then what's your C? Okay, did you plug in yet or no? Yeah. Okay, so I don't want to erase, but this is for number 2. Sorry, it's all over the place. Negative 16 plus or minus the square root of 16 squared minus 4 times 1, 48. That's super tiny. All over 2 times 1. When we simplify this, it's going to give me negative 16 plus or minus. When we type all that junk into our calculator, I got 64. Can we take the square root of 64? Yeah. It's going to give me negative 16 plus or minus 8 over 2. This becomes 2 separate equations. So when we simplify that, that's going to give us negative 4. And then negative 12. That's what you got. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of writing. So did we try 3 yet or no? Okay, try 3. So if I have number 3, that's going to be A is 4, B is 24, and C is 27. Okay, now we're going to plug in. So negative 24 plus or minus the B squared, which is 24 squared, minus 4 times 4 times 27, all over 2 times 4. Really quick, when you type this into the yellow calculator, you're going to use the minus button here. If any of these numbers are negative, that's when you're going to use the negative sign down at the bottom. There is a difference, so make sure that you know how to type those in, okay? So when I type in what's underneath the radical, so that means that you're using the wrong negative or you're using a subtraction sign. Yeah. So you should have gotten 144 with 8 underneath that. Make sure that you can type it into your calculator. So I typed 24 squared, and squared is on the left-hand side. And then minus 4, parentheses, 4, close parentheses, open parentheses, 27, close parentheses. So type it exactly how you see it. Type this junk into your calculator. Everybody needs to check and make sure you can do that. Yeah. So in the formula, it says b squared minus 4ac. So this is subtraction. Yeah. Just check and make sure you can do that. Now, we can simplify square root of 144, and that's going to give me 12. So negative 24 plus 12 is negative 12 over 8, which can simplify to negative 3 over 2. And then negative 24 minus 12 is negative 36 divided by 8, which both of those are divisible by 4. So it's going to be negative 9 over 2. So these are my solutions. If you want to put that in decimal form, that's okay. If I had number 4 written like this instead, what do I need to do first? If number 4 was written like this instead, move the 4 over. So this is going to be 5x squared plus 21x plus 4. And now we would do the quadratic formula, right? Let's say that number 4 was written like this. 5x squared plus 21x plus 1 minus 3. What would we do here? It's the same answer as the last time. What would we do? Move the 3 over. So when we move that 3 over, watch what happens. 5x squared plus 21x plus 4. It's the same thing. You have to put it in standard form first before you start moving things. Does that make sense? Okay, so on number 2 on your mastery check, that's what's going to happen. Put it in standard form first, then start manipulating it. Okay, now let's check your work. Or have y'all tried number 4? Better question. All right. Okay, so if we plug it in, that's going to give us negative 21 plus or minus 21 squared minus 4 times 5 times 4 all over 2 times 5. If I type what's in underneath the radical, I got 361. Is that what y'all got? Now, if I try to take the square root of 361, that's going to give me 19. And if I simplify that, this is going to give me negative 2 over 10, which is negative 1/5. And then it's going to give me negative 40 over 10, which is going to give me negative 4. Yeah. Try number 5. Do one more. So I got negative 1 and then negative 7/4. So what you got? Anybody got anything different? Okay. How did I get negative 1? Negative 11 minus 3. Nope, JK. Negative 11 plus 3 gives me negative 8. And then negative 8 divided by 8 gives me negative 1. Remember, these are 2 separate equations, right? Does that make sense? Like you get all the way down to here, right? So right here, this becomes negative 11 plus 3 divided by 8. So what's right? So this will be negative 8 divided by 8, and that's negative 1. And then you're going to do the minus version too. So negative 11 minus 3 divided by 8. So that gives us negative 14. And then both of those are divisible by 2. Yeah. Okay, let's try one more. Number 6. Okay. So you should have plugged it in like this. That's going to make positive 16 on the outside. On the inside, when you type this in, what'd you get? 64? I got 64. Over 2. Okay, when we took the square root of 64, we got 8. Are there any questions about what I did so far? Where's the question? Are we okay? Yeah. Okay, so now 16 plus 8. So 16 plus 8 is going to give us 24. 24 divided by 2 gives us 12. 16 minus 8 gives us 8. 8 divided by 2 gives us 4. So what you got? Are there any questions? Everybody's okay? You sure? So most of you probably got to this spot and then, right, where we still keep having problems. Okay, so when you do this, break it up into 2 separate equations. So this is 14 plus 4 divided by 6 and 14 minus 4 divided by 6. Okay, when you do fractions, you're going to add the top. And then you're going to say to yourself, 18 divided by 6 is what? 3. On the bottom, down here, 14 minus 4 is 10. And both of these are divisible by what? 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Can you see it?